Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and today we are here with a new set of videos that I've had planned for pretty much as long as I've been recording. Some of my first videos were the cast members of Critical Role, so like Mercer, Matthew Mercer, Taliesin Jaffe, all of them. This time, we are building their home in the world. And this home, the build is going to be split up. I am making all the Sims. So for this build, you get to see me building like the outline and adding things that aren't connected like to a character. So like the kitchen's gonna be done, bathroom, the war room, and the little temple to Sarenrae and all that is gonna be done. And then the bedrooms upstairs are going to be separated. So the day after this build, sorry, my dog's walking through. If you can hear him, I don't know. And sorry, totally lost my train of thought because of my dog. So the day after this video will be the first Sim. Her name is Vexalia. She will be built, and then the build after that will be her room, like her bedroom. So all the bedrooms won't be done, and you'll see them be built for each character after you've seen that character come out. So you get to see them being built first, and then see how I decorated their room. And this is kind of how I wanted to do it since I had the idea of building them, just because I thought it would be fun to do it that way, just to separate it and make it a little bit different than the normal things that I do. Building this house was difficult, and I probably could have made it smaller and not quite as big as I made it. I made it really big because I felt like that's how it should be, but then it just didn't work out the way I wanted it, and it's really big. It's a very big house. And I don't know, I guess that's okay. Yeah, it's not going to change it in any way, so. But getting the floors to all like match up and stuff and to actually complete was very difficult, and I couldn't get it all to work quite right, and it was a mess. But that's just because of the way that I figured out the floor plan. So if you don't know anything about Critical Role or these characters that you're going to be seeing, or if like maybe you've heard of like Mercer or Matthew Mercer, Matthew has been in things like Overwatch. He's voiced in WoW. Travis has voiced in WoW. Laura has been in Uncharted 4, which is a really good game. I love Uncharted. I still haven't played the first two, but I still love the games because they're awesome and they are very fun to play. And I was so glad to see Laura, and I was like, it just made me happy because I love Laura. She is so cute. But Critical Role is a Dungeons and Dragons game, and all of the people who play in it are voice actors, so you know it's gonna, like, if you watch it and be like, oh, that's how D&D is. No, that's how it is with voice actors and people who have played. When you have a DM who has DM'd for many many years. And it is a great show. It's very addicting. It's very fun to watch. And you get very sucked into the story because they've been playing this game 5 years-ish. They've been playing it like 5 years. And they've been streaming it for almost 2 years, I think. I think they've been streaming it for almost 2 years now on Geek and Sundry. And it is an amazing show. I've seen every single episode. It's a huge time commitment. So if you don't have a lot of time, it's going to take you quite a while to get caught up on everything. But in the end, it's worth it. And it's just super nice to watch. So this part I am putting in the windows for this little section of the house. One of the characters, her name is Pike. She plays a cleric, and so she has a deity that she follows. And this section of the house is like her own personal little temple type thing to her god. So there's a lot of windows to make it very bright because she's a goddess of light. I don't really know a lot about her. But then there's a lot of like nature stuff out there because Keyleth is a druid and she loves nature, so it's kind of like a combined where Keyleth can take care of the plants, and it's also a place where Pike can reflect and pray to her god kind of thing. And it's really interesting. I just recommend that you watch it. Excuse me, sorry. This basement part, I eventually changed a little bit. I kind of messed up the floor plan because I couldn't see, like I wasn't looking at it when I placed it down. So like here you'll see me fixing it. Trying to fix the floor plan a little. I based it off a floor plan that I found online to something that might be similar to it. And it was very helpful in me getting the idea and where to place things in the house. Because I've built Grayskull before on what I thought it might look like. And it was kind of a mess. I mean, I liked it, but it was not planned out very well. I was gonna do the outside, like add like outside decorations, but just the little pieces that I did took me so long. I recorded for like an hour and a half, and a lot of my builds don't take me that long. So to record for an hour and a half, just not even all of it, was insane. I'm like, oh my goodness. It was very, very long. And out of this huge, huge build, there is one bathroom. And you have to separate that one bathroom in game. Like, you can't have that, like, you can't have that many people in a household. But they have 2 servants who work there. And then they have, I think now they have like 1 or 2 guards left. And so there's 4-ish. And then there's the 7 of them all in this giant house and 1 bathroom. Makes a lot of sense. I probably should have separated the house a bit better to add more to it, because there were spaces where I couldn't make them what they actually are. So like this room is actually a bathroom. And then the little room next to it is actually supposed to be storage. And I didn't put anything in it. Just in like, it's like, do I want to put anything in there? Is it worth it? Do I just want to fill this area full of junk when someone could download this house and make it into something different, and that room is open to them to interpret in the way that they would like. Lighting up the temple, with it being 2 stories, with that room being 2 stories, if you put lights on the first floor, they just hang there in midair. And I know it's Sims and, physics don't work here. But you don't just put floating lights in. I guess, well, if I had remembered, I could have put, there's this, like, a cheat that you can put in, and you can actually get, like, light sources that aren't actually lights. So when you play with them, it has the area lit up, but you don't actually see any lights. And I also decided to build this build when I had changed my camera. So when you play in The Sims 4, you have the option to excuse me, to play with the Sims 3 camera. So that changes the controls. So when you play Sims 4, you right click and move your mouse and it turns your screen. But with the Sims 3 camera, you right click and you move your mouse and it just like moves you like you're using your keyboard to move. And it's the middle button to turn things, or to like turn your camera, and you have to hold and drag to turn items. And that's probably what took me the longest, was just trying to build and learn the controls all at the same time. And then I try to add more lights upstairs and like above, and the light wouldn't travel down. Even though there was no floor there, it wouldn't travel down to light up that area. So I ended up taking that out. I just left the lights up there just because you can. And then I changed the grass in there to be kind of flowery, a little pathway. I used a little ballerina to resemble like maybe like the statue type thing that would be there for Sarenrae. And I think it worked. And then I got tired of the dark spots, so I just added in some lights finally. I was trying to keep it, because this game is fantasy, it's like a medieval, it's not medieval, but think of it like that. Because medieval is something that happened in our time, and that's not something that's fantasy. So, medieval-esque. A lot of stone, and like paintings. I ended up adding some electronics and stuff because we don't have a lot of medieval things to add into the house. So it wouldn't have made any sense just to leave it empty. This part in the dining room, they actually have like big circle tables that they sit at, and we don't have big circle tables, which kind of makes me sad a little bit, because I love big round tables, and we don't have that. We only have the little ones. So I did a table where like all of Vox Machina could sit, and then like others where like the servants and the guards and stuff could come in and eat breakfast at the same time, or dinner. The big painting of the guy was for Scanlan. He's like kind of like, I'm the greatest. And that's okay. He's got kind of a big ego. A little bit. And then I changed all the floors. I just gave all the floors the stone, made all the walls stone, and then I just added lights to the bedrooms just to light them up because it was annoying that it was dark. And just trying to decorate this place. It was huge. Huge, huge, huge. This room where I'm adding the second table in the floor plan, it's their like war planning room where like if they've got a mission they're going on, this is where they're going to sit and talk about, what are they going to do, when are they going to do it kind of thing. Just really like a planning room. And then the dining room. I actually really like the kitchen in this house, even though it's huge. It is humongous. And it was very difficult. It's just, when you have a big build, it's just difficult to fill the space. These 2 bedrooms down here I did because I don't know a lot about what their servants look like. I know Erwin, who's in the right room. He's an old guy. He just kind of helps kind of care for the house. And oh, hold on. My dogs are freaking out. Oops. Probably a deer or something, or like a squirrel jumped in the backyard. Who knows? What was I talking about? Can't even remember. Great. We were talking about the kitchen. Oh, the bedrooms. Lena, I believe her name is. She is mainly like the cook, and she'll go out and buy groceries and stuff like that. So Erwin's kind of the house land caretaker, and she's the cook, and they're super cute when you see them in the, well, not see them, but when they're interacting with them in the game. And then there's that little jump right there. If you're moving objects up and you've hit control, it'll automatically save that camera position. So if you hit it again, if you hit like 9, you like hit like control 9 and it'll lift it up in the air to change the position it sits in. But if you just hit 9, it will take you back to whatever the last camera position was, and it's super annoying, especially since it doesn't reset once you've turned off the game. It's like a permanent thing. So like, if you hit control once and hit 9, then you know, you just have to do that forever, and it makes me kind of sad. Hello, Freya. It's time to lay down, little girl. It's very late. It is very late. It is 2 a.m. Freya, would you lay down? You're very loud. Thank you. My mom decided to stream for almost 12 hours. It was 11 hours, 11 minutes, like 1 second. Breeding dinosaurs on Ark. Awesome. She spent forever doing that. And it just ugh. In the room, okay, so there was a little room where I put some workout stuff. That is actually an armory. And we don't have a lot of things that, like, hold weapons. So, you know, it was like, what am I going to decorate this with? Well, Grog, he's, like, big and muscular and very strong. So, like, I thought, you know, that could be a place for him to, like, work out. And then this living room where I've put, like, the little movie center, that is actually an arcane laboratory. For one of the members, he was a wizard. And so, like, that was, like, it's very big. It shouldn't have been that big, but I overestimated myself. This down here is actually Percy's workshop. And Percy is a gunslinger in the party. So, like, here he has, like, you know, gunpowder, and he'll make bullets and stuff like that. And then in the other room is actually a prison cell, where, like, if someone comes to their house or, like, they meet someone, they can bring them back and, like, lock them in cells down here. And it took me a while to figure out what to build it out of, and I actually just searched jail, and it gave me some bars. I could not find the doors, and I actually put the doors in my last build that came out Thursday. And then I was like, I know, I've seen them, I just put them down, but can I find them? Nope. There were no jail doors to be found, and I searched for quite a while. So I just put more of the jail walls up to pretend that was, like, some doors that you could get the prisoners out of. And it drove me crazy. And then I put some little benches in for like the prisoners to sit on. And then I was going to add more, but it was such a tiny space that I was like, nah, they can just have a little bench to sit on. And then the roofing was terrible. I'm just going to flat out say that it was atrocious. It was the worst thing ever. I put those little octagon things down because those little like tower things where the staircases are round, and octagon's the closest you can get to circle in this game, and it just messed everything up. And so the roofing of this is not very good, and I'm not going to apologize for it because, as I've said many times, I cannot put roofs on builds. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Because when you're playing in a house, you don't look at the roof. You don't see the roof unless you're looking at the whole house. So, if it looks ugly, you'll never really remember because you never look at it anyway. So, you can go ahead and hate on my roofs all you want. But at the end of the day, it won't matter because it's not going to get any better. I added a little door to get to that patio. There's actually not supposed to be a patio there. That bedroom that's like weird shaped in the very front is actually supposed to go like over the door of the front, but it didn't because I don't plan very well. But we are getting to the end of this build, and I hope you enjoyed it. I worked really hard on it. It felt like it took forever. I'll add more to it if I think about it in one of the rooms, so stay tuned. The next part will be coming out Monday, so be ready for that. But give it a like, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment if you like, and I will see you again in the next video. Bye.